Hello. Look at how I found this way of recording, y'all. You don't have to see me in my bed head in pajamas or no makeup. Not that I'm on popping on, looking however it is in the moment, but this gives me even more freedom. And at this moment, I wanted to connect with you in this very simple way, just to connect with you. To let you know what's on my heart in partnering with Mental Health Awareness Month this May. And so I just want to make sure that I'm coming to you from a position of hope in life and this awkward sense of peace that no matter what, and even if we can step into scenarios that we didn't plan on. We would have never raised our hand and said, yes, sign me up for a mental illness. Yes, sign me up to be a caregiver of someone with a chronic or even an acute mental illness. Yeah, I feel equipped. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can focus on the abundant life that Jesus came to give me, no matter what. And even if, give me the tough road, give it to me. Nobody says that. But so much of that has been part of my journey from the time I've been little. And I am realizing more and more how much mental illness has impacted my family generationally, those who've passed, those who are living, and those who are pretty young and just starting out their life, including myself. And the more that I didn't plan on certain mental illness or mental health crises happening in my own mind, my own illness of the mind. I've had many. I've had many. I didn't even know of the 200 types of mental health disorders. I didn't even know that I checked a few of those boxes when I had post traumatic stress after a home invasion. Maybe after having children, I didn't deal with that, but I know my dear friends did. Maybe it's after a huge life change or grieving the loss of someone who died, or anxiety and maybe the genetic makeup because of many family members in the past have had their own mental illness journey, and maybe it went untreated and it just the potency of it just traveled through the genes. So maybe there's genetic wiring in my mind, and then the diagnosis of being, get sorry, my diagnosis a couple years ago of hypersomnia. That's a sleep disorder. That's an issue with my mind and its ability to regulate sleep and wake cycles. That is a mental illness. And it's just so interesting how I just stumbled upon some data that a fifth of the US population is known to have mental illness. And I'm wondering how many more have it. And it's not documented because we feel shame and we're afraid to acknowledge it. We're afraid to talk about it. It feels like a weakness. It feels like such an impairment that we can't. It's like, boom, this is a life sentence. No matter if it's acute or chronic, this is a life sentence. This is embarrassing. If I let people know about it, they're going to treat me differently. So I'm just going to keep it quiet. I'm going to just behave this. This is just the way I've always been. I'm too old to change at this point. I mean, there's all these different reasons that I think there's way more. And quite frankly, of the 336 million people, 336 million, well, anyway, I was going to round, but you get my point. Of the 336.5 million people in the United States, I I would bet that every single one of us at one time has had at least one illness of the mind. Come on, y'all. Our body gets sick and we get strep throat and we treat it and we move on. It's an acute illness and short run. We treat it and we move on. We do not see it that way with our mind. There's just something so prideful, so secretive, so special about that part of our body that, dare not we admit that there is an illness. And then I get it. I'm living it. That if there's a loved one that has a chronic mental illness, it is even less talked about. I mean, and that's up to the person. I mean, that's what part of the journey of taking care of somebody with a chronic mental illness. It can feel so isolating and so alone because it's part of that. It's another person's story. It's not just our own. And so I'm also speaking to everyone in the United States. Like my mind is thinking about the human condition. Yes, I'm thinking about those who've been diagnosed. Yes, there's an extra special place in my heart for those who've been diagnosed with a chronic mental illness. But truly, everyone is impacted. Everyone. Because if you are a caregiver to somebody with a chronic mental illness, chances are you have an illness of the mind, unless you're, you know, taking care of yourself and really proactively pressing into your own mental wellness, then you're able to stave that off. But if we're not aware of how being a caregiver, how that can impact our mind and our lives, then it might turn into a chronic genetic shifting illness of the mind as well. I believe everybody is impacted and everyone should be talking about this. It's not going to happen by what I'm doing in this month of May. But if we all played a part and stepped into the tension of, hey, I can have a good life and talk about my acute or chronic mental illness. Little by little, our societies, our homes will change, our school systems will continue to shift for the better, our communities, our workplaces, our governmental systems, our the healthcare system. Now, I'm going to close on that note. If we really think about this too much, it can feel so insurmountable. But that's why I do what I do with an abundant mindset, is that I try as much as humanly possible, no matter what, and even if, to look through the situation from a lens of, honestly, the fullness of the gospel message. It is done. And so much has been, so much of the burden is, and the reality of our life's journey has been taken care of for us. And we can look through the lens of our life experience, through the lens of love. So I'm going to repeat that in case I said that flip flopped. So it's an option to look through our lives through the lens of love rather than through the lens of fear. Y'all, I get the fear. I get it. I get it's real. It's a good indicator. It's actually healthy. But that's all it is. It's just a momentary indicator allowing us to tap in to a source greater than ourselves. And that is what I'm bringing to the table this month of May, is abundance, and not an abundance within myself. That would be limited, which is why I'm closing on this. Our government isn't enough. Our healthcare industry isn't enough. Our school systems, it's not enough. Our communities and neighborhoods and our workplaces, that's not enough. They're human systems. We can't put all our eggs in a human system, but we can. And I promise it has gotten me this far with this awkward sense of peace, this joy that I cannot shake. And if I had the ability to share with you the journey through mental health and the looking death in its eyes through mental illness, chronic mental illness, with a label that would make you fold like like a cheap suit. And I'm not saying you as in you would do it. I'm saying Joe Public. I'm saying the general person. I've been through my family, loved ones, generationally. I've seen so much and navigated so much. I'm speaking from a place of authority that I have walked through what feels like a lonely, uncharted territory. And I've always been able to also see it through the lens of love. And then that's when I breathe and then I see it from a divine, heavenly, higher than ourselves perspective. So that's what I'm bringing to the table. That's what I'm offering. And if you want to journey through this and you want to partner with me, there's just a couple thoughts I have on the beginning of May. And one of them is if you would like me to, and I don't do this too often, if you would like to email me at Tara, Tara, at abundantlyme.org. Thank you for those who have already done it. It's been an honor to pray along with you. You've shared maybe you, maybe your family. You've let me in what the health diagnosis might be, the mental illness that you would like me to contend for. And along with you, I believe in the supernatural script flipping power of prayer. And I wake up in the morning and I will be intentionally praying over you if you want me to be aware. But I still have this 67 million people in my mind. And that might be all I need. And I believe it. And so it's going to be through worship music. It's going to be through my just my prayer and my connectedness to a source greater than any diagnosis, y'all. It has blessed my life. It has blessed our family's life. It has helped to navigate us into a place of hope and love, no matter what, and even if. And so if you would like me to partner with you, you can email me. You can message me in any other way that many of you do, like through social media. Just stay connected. And I'm going to be excited to see what God is up to in my just act of obedience. I love you because God loved you first. And I look forward to talking with you later. Bye.